I asked GitHub Copilot to build a production Azure environment using Terraform. 5 resources: storage account, key vault, network security group, SQL Server, SQL database. Then I ran a security audit against everything it generated. 29 checks passed, 21 checks failed. That is the result of running Checkov, a free open source security scanner, against raw Copilot output. This is what I found, and what it means for every engineer using AI to write infrastructure code today. Before we look at the findings, here is how the test was run. I used GitHub Copilot in VS Code. 5 separate prompts, 1 per resource. No hints, no security requirements added. Just the kind of prompts any engineer would write on a Monday morning. Storage account for a web application. Key vault with access policy for an app. Network security group for an Azure environment. SQL Server and database for production. Variables for SQL credentials. I kept everything Copilot generated. No edits, no corrections. The files you are looking at right now are exactly what Copilot produced. Then I ran the scanner. Here are the 5 files. Storage account, TLS 1.2 is set. HTTPS only is enabled. Blob public access is false. At first glance, this looks correct. Key vault, soft delete is enabled. Tenant ID is configured. Access policies are set. Nothing jumps out immediately. Network security group, rules for HTTP, HTTPS, and SSH are defined. A deny all rule at the bottom looks like a reasonable NSG setup. SQL Server TLS 1.2 minimum is set. Variables are used for credentials. No hard-coded passwords in the code. On the surface, this code looks production ready. It is not. Let me show you what the scanner found. I am running Checkov against all 5 files with this single command. The compact flag shows just the findings without the full code blocks. Watch the output. Passed checks, 29. Failed checks, 21. 21 security failures. In code that looked production ready a few minutes ago, this is why you run the scanner. Let me walk through the ones that matter most. Storage account. Shared key authorization is still enabled. That means anyone with the account key has full access to your storage. No private endpoint either. The account is reachable from the public internet. Key vault. Purge protection is disabled. One line, purge protection enabled equals false, means your key vault can be permanently deleted with no recovery window. Public network access is also left open. Network security group. SSH port 22 is open from the entire internet. Source address prefix equals star. Any IP address in the world can attempt to connect to your servers. SQL Server. No auditing configured at all. No Azure AD administrator, no vulnerability assessment. GDPR SOC2 and ISO 27001 all require SQL audit logs. Copilot did not add a single line of it. 21 failures in total, across 5 resources, in code that looked reasonable on first read. That is what the scanner found. I want to be direct about something. GitHub Copilot is genuinely better than it was a year ago. TLS 1.2 is now set by default. Passwords are not hard-coded. Sensitive variables are used correctly. Soft delete on key vault is enabled. That is real progress. But better is not the same as production ready. 21 security failures in 5 common Azure resources is not an edge case. It is the expected result when you send AI output to production without validation. The issue is not that Copilot wrote bad code. The issue is that Copilot does not know your security requirements. It does not know your compliance framework. It does not know that your security team requires private endpoints on every storage account. It does not know that your auditors need 90 days of SQL audit logs. That context lives in your head, not in the prompt. Treat Copilot output as a starting point, not a finished product. Run the scanner, review the findings, add what is missing, then ship it. That is the workflow that keeps AI useful and keeps your infrastructure secure. Here's the summary. Copilot generated 5 Azure resources. 29 checks passed, 21 checks failed. Storage account, 8 failures including shared key auth, no private endpoint, no soft delete on blobs. Key vault, 5 failures including purge protection disabled and public network access left open. NSG, 2 failures. HTTP and SSH open from the entire internet. SQL Server, 4 failures. No Azure AD admin, no auditing, no vulnerability assessment. The scanner caught all of it in under 30 seconds before a single resource was deployed. That is the value of running Checkov against every piece of AI-generated infrastructure code. Checkov is free. Pip install. Checkov? Checkov-D. 30 seconds. Run it against your existing Terraform today, not next sprint. Today. You might find issues that have been sitting in your code base for months, and code that deployed successfully and never triggered an alert. The next video covers how to automate this inside a GitHub Actions pipeline, so every pull request gets scanned automatically and security failures block the merge before anything reaches production. That is the proper defense against this, not manual review after the fact. Automated enforcement before merge. Subscribe so you do not miss that one. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6:30 a.m. IST. See you in the next one.